Another big reason why he suddenly goes cold is that something you did upset him. Okay? So you have a lot of situations where I say this with love, okay? You know I love y'all. I'm sorry I laugh because I already know some of y'all gonna get just a little defensive maybe, but listen, a lot of women, may or may not be you, okay, don't realize some of the unhealthy things they do or engage in their relationships. Whether that be how they talk to a man, whether that be something that might be disrespectful in the moment that she doesn't understand or perceive as disrespectful, um, whether it be dismissing of his feelings because she is so focused on her feelings. She does not realize and process that she's dismissing his, right? Um, and just other toxic behaviors that she may not be aware or taking ownership of, okay? And if this man has ever expressed any issues or concerns before, and all he gets back from you is deflection, excuses, you then finding a way to point the finger at him, things of that nature, he will stop addressing it. He will stop speaking. However, sweeping it under the rug, depending on what happened in that moment, can lead to him having cold moments. All right? So let's just say you did something that he felt was disrespectful, but again, instead of addressing it because he feels like addressing it with you is pointless, he doesn't say anything. But some men don't know how to not show their feelings or wear it on their sleeve, so to speak. I believe that's the way the saying goes. But, not be kind of obvious with it. So their attitude changes, their energy changes. And you as a woman, because you are more in tune, you're picking up on this difference. You're picking up on now he's all extra silent. Now he's in a different mood. Now he's cold. And for him, his goal is just to get through the moment, get through the day, and tomorrow try to act like it never happened. Okay? But for you, you know something, you sense something's wrong, you sense he's cold, and you're like, what the hell is wrong with you? But he's just, and if you ask him, he's like, oh, no, I'm good, I'm all right. But he's not all right. He's not all right. And so this is an example of why it's important to establish early on in any relationship, one, the freedom and the safe space to express concerns from both sides, okay? To give constructive criticism and to learn how to hear and embrace what your partner is saying. Because again, if someone feels like, and for some of you women, you should be able to relate to this because some of you have found yourself in the same scenario where you have a man or have had a man where you felt like whenever I say something, he doesn't acknowledge it or he dismisses me or whatever. And you have your other reasons why you're not prepared to walk away. Again, a lot of times it's because a woman may just view this as, all right, well, I'm gonna have to deal with this with the next man, so let me just stay here rather than starting all over. That's just one of the mindsets, okay? And one of the reasons why women may not walk away from that. But either way, you're still there and you're just at a place where you feel like it's pointless to say when something is bothering you. But it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy when either of you do it, all right? And so if it hasn't already been established, the whole being able to talk and express these things, or you can sit back right now and honestly say, you know what, there have been times where I dismissed this man's feelings or didn't take any accountability for the part I may have played or what I may have done in the situation. If you want him to stop having these cold moments and to fix this issue, you got to be able to come to him and acknowledge now, I understand that in the past, I've behaved in this way. I didn't handle things appropriately, but I don't want us to have these moments anymore. I want you to know you can feel free to talk to me. And when he does, if he does now stop being cold and tell you what's up, you can't just react to that and give him a backlash because you're going to shut him back down. All right? So you got to really be open-minded, really be ready to receive whatever it is that he has to say. But yes, it's important that those lines of communication are opened up, and that will help us avoid future moments of just going cold. And that's because he is stressed, overwhelmed, and has shut down. So I mentioned it earlier. Let's dive deeper into it right now. And I have to say this about myself. Though I am I am good at or willing to communicate when necessary. And if I'm in a relationship, I'm definitely not just gonna shut down, go cold, go ghost out of nowhere. However, I know that in general life, so outside of a relationship, when I get too overwhelmed and stressed, I just want to shut down from everything. Like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to deal with anything. I just want to go in my corner. It's just me and God and work through it. You know what I'm saying? And so I say that to just lay down the foundation of understanding that, yes, it is a mechanism for a lot of people when too much is going on in their life to just shut down. Now, is that the way to be when you are in a relationship? No, no. And if I'm speaking to men, or when I speak to men, I would say, listen, at the very least, you got to let your partner know, I'm going through it right now. I just need a little time to myself. You know, give me a moment to process this. You know, give some kind of heads up to your partner, so at least it doesn't just catch them off guard and lead them to having to wonder what the hell's going on, okay? But there's a lot of men who have not been taught or do not understand how to properly handle those moments. Because if you go straight to, oh, he must have another woman, now that just sets off a chain reaction of other possible negative reactions, thoughts, and things that you may do that will make matters worse unnecessarily, okay? So getting back to the whole overwhelmed and stress, yes, a lot of guys, that's their thing. And one of the reasons why a lot of men shut down and go in their own corner, because for you as a woman, you may feel like, well, listen, if I'm his woman or I'm the woman he's dating and he's saying he's serious about me, why wouldn't he want to like share this moment with me? Why wouldn't he want to go through this with me, so to speak? But for that man, the concern may be, I'm not trying to look weak in front of you right now. If I'm struggling with this and I don't know how to handle it, or I find myself in a weak place, it can be difficult to face you when in that moment. Also, because a lot of men, when they allow themselves to be vulnerable in the weak moments, and I don't even like using the word vulnerable, but allow them to expose exactly everything that was going on with them when those things hit their life. For some men, and I acknowledge it because there's a lot of other reasons why it didn't go the way they hoped, but it led to them losing the respect of the woman. It led to the dynamics of the relationship shifting. So a lot of men are hesitant in showing themselves to that partner in that weak moment. It's different. It's like, let me come back to her when I figured out what I'm trying to do here. All right. So when I'm presenting this to her, I'm presenting it as a man who is on top of things, not as a man who's lost in the moment and doesn't know what the hell to do with myself. Okay. Do not then turn around and try to make this all about you, meaning, oh, well, like you're making me feel like this way, or I'm not loved, or you don't value me. It's like, no, so because now you're adding more stress to the man. Now you're making matters worse. Rather than just saying, no, let me take a step back. If anything, he needs my support in this moment. He needs my understanding and patience. But yes, if he shuts down in this moment, once we get through this, we do need to discuss that going forward, this can't be how this is handled. All right? Shutting down is not the way to go. We've got to figure out how to better handle this together, how to navigate these situations to where we can grow stronger together and not take the chances of this causing unnecessary problems. The last reason for today that I'm going to mention, and there's a lot of other things for us to discuss, so I'm probably going to make a part 2 to this video, but another reason why the man suddenly acts cold is because he's giving you a reason to leave him. So here's what I mean. sometimes you have situations where the man was interested, and because he was genuinely interested, he was showing up, he was doing his part, all these things. But somewhere along the line, he realized or started to feel that this isn't really it. Okay? Now, whether that be another woman has come into the picture, whether that be he just feels like, as much as I like her, we're just not there on the same page, or we're not really for each other, or like I can enjoy her, but I just don't see her as the one, all these things. And I don't want to waste her or my time continuing with this. But unfortunately, some men, a lot of men, don't know how to just be honest or articulate that in the moment. And what makes it harder to articulate is when you haven't technically done anything wrong. Like, I know some of y'all have been in a situation as women where you could be dating a guy, you liked him, you had genuine interest, but you got to a point where you realize, this ain't really it. You're not really feeling it like that, or you gave it a chance and it just didn't get you to that place where you want to be, to feel like you want to move forward with somebody. And you now struggle to let go because he's a good guy. He hasn't done anything wrong. So it's like some muster up the strength to just say, you know what, this just isn't working for me. It's just not there. But a lot of people, their way of then handling it is going cold, going ghost, creating distance. Okay? Now, how you will know better if this is a man who maybe just wants you to let go of him, right? And he's trying to avoid having to say it straight up, is if you address his coldness, okay, and he's not correcting it, and he's not giving you any reassurance of, no, we're good, boom, 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 then it's pretty safe to assume he's looking for a way out. Because if he wasn't, he would try to find some way to calm your concerns. He would make some changes, at least initially. Well, not at least initially. He would make it in general and try to, again, make you more comfortable with him again. But if he's not making any efforts to improve on his all of a sudden distance and coldness, he's probably looking for a way out. And giving you a reason to say, you know what, I don't want to deal with him. And for a lot of people, like, that's easier. They'd rather you leave them than them having to tell you, I don't want to do this anymore. Now, again, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you what it is.